Hey guys, it's Elnanas here once again, bringing you yet another Total War Warhammer Online Battle commentary. This time I'll be playing as the vampires, and it's going to be a pretty interesting match going against the Bretonnians. As you guys will see in just a bit, I have the Red Duke on Zombie Dragon over here, and 2 units of Felbats, unit of Corpse Card with Unholy Lodestone. Just a little teaser, this guy is going to be the key to this battle, and you guys will see why in just a minute. Unit of the Sternsman, Regiment of Renown, and then I have in front of my lines 4 units of Crypt Horrors and 3 units of Skeletal Warriors with 3 chevrons each, 2 Grave Guards on each flank, as well as 2 units of Skeleton Spearmen. That's basically my army over here, very heavy on the Crypt Horrors. My opponent has 3 units of Peasant Mob, 4 units of Foot Squires over here, and 4 units of Spearmen at Arms, with 2 units of Royal Pegasus Knights in the air, as well as cavalry contingent over here with 2 units of Grill Guardians, as well as a Fey Enchantress. So pretty strong mounted force, and also a pretty solid foot force as well, infantry force. However, he has no arch. He only has 1 archer over here in the middle, a unit of peasant bowmen. So he has quite a big number superiority compared to me. He has about 1.2 thousand units. So I only have about 990. So my plan was to use my Red Duke to send out the Winds of Death to try and cut down some of his units, because I was afraid that I couldn't hold long enough before my Skeleton Spearmen die, and I don't think the 3 units of Graveguard can chew through his units as fast as I wish, because he had his Spearmen at Arms to protect his army from the Crypt Horrors. I didn't see this unit of flanking force until I actually engaged him, and he is also on a hill. So he's gonna start chasing me with his Royal Pegasus Knights in just a bit. I was trying to line up some shots over here, and I think I managed to line it up. Pretty decent Winds of Death. You guys can see, quite a devastating Winds of Death. Say chew through 3 of his Foot Squires unit, the most expensive unit in his line, and I'm gonna start attacking. There was no way he was gonna move off the hill because he had the archer unit, so I was gonna go up and gonna use my Felbats to kind of tie up his unit of Royal Pegasus Knight, but the Red Duke got caught, so I'm gonna land him into the Peasant Mob over here so that my foot units can give him a hand. And over here he springs his trap with his Grill Guardians as well as Fey Enchantress. Pretty good move by him. I saw how this could have worked, and how this could have been really devastating for me. So the Red Duke is on the ground, really powerful Royal Pegasus Knight is coming in, and it's going to be starting to turn into a brawl really soon. I push up my Corpse Card to heal my units, and I'm going to stop my Sternsman in front of the Grill Guardians to absorb the charge. I have to keep my Corpse Card alive, as well as 2 spear units at the back of my line. It's going to spawn a unit of skeletons over here to hold up his Grill Guardians over here. You can see most of his lines, especially the Foot Squires, breaking in the middle, and I use Invocation of the Hack to heal out my troops. My troops are doing pretty well on the flanks over here. And here comes the blob of Grill Guardians as well as Royal Pegasus Knight working together. Let's go into a brawl over here. On the main fight in the middle, I kind of broke through his lines, just cleaning up his remaining Foot Squire units. Send one of my Felbats into his Peasant Bowman, and he gets a pretty good charge into my backs of my line over here with his Grill Guardian, but the Crypt Horrors are healing up in this guy, the corpse card, managed to be relatively out of harm's way, healing my units. As you guys can see, the healing bar is I think 2 to 3 HP per second. Yes, 2 HP per second. Might not be much, but in a group like that, in an AoE radius like that, it counts as time goes by, with invocation of the hack as well. So my Red Duke is still stuck in the middle over here, surrounded by the Grill Guardians, as you guys can see, trying his best to defend himself. And I'm mopping up the rest of the units over here. I probably shouldn't have wasted 3 units against 1 unit of foot squires over here. But at one point in time, he realized that my corpse card is healing up a lot of my units over here, and he's gonna send his Fae Enchanter to try and take him out. My guys are holding up relatively well for now, especially the skeletons that are spawned by the Red Duke. And the Red Duke is pretty beaten up, but he's still surviving for now. And my Sternsmen as well as my Crypt Horrors are in pretty healthy shape. So it's kind of a battle of attrition. Without that Winds of Death that I've casted at the start of the game, I don't think the results would have been like that. I think I would have been wiped out with all the charges with the Grill Guardian to the back of my lines. But thankfully I did manage to get off a pretty good Winds of Death. So over here he realized that he has to take out my corpse card. I'm going to send him his Fae Enchantress to start dealing with it, and I'll send one of my Crypt Horrors to start dealing with the Fae Enchantress herself. And over here I lost my Red Duke as well, so as you guys can see in the middle over here. The Grill Guardians are really tanky. You can see how much kills they racked up, and very high morale and armor as well, and a very high melee defense. So I realized he's going to go for my corpse card, and I thought to myself, I can't lose my corpse card because it's giving the valuable healing aura that my guys need to win this battle of attrition. And because my guys are still in a pretty good morale for now, despite losing the Red Duke, and I'm gonna start sending him my remaining Graveguard and Skeleton Warriors, which have won the fight over here on the right. Just gonna send them in to keep the morale of my men together. So the biggest threat to me now is his flying units as well as his cavalry. He's gonna start sending them in to try and take out my corpse card, which is a pretty good move. He almost, he managed to get the corpse card into a critical binding mode, so his health is decreasing slowly, but because it's heating up as well, so I just have to keep it out of harm's way in order for it to heal up. You can see he's trying really hard to send his Fae Enchantress to take out the corpse card, and all this while he still has units over here, Spearmen, as well as Grill Guardians. So it's just a battle of attrition over here, and the numbers are pretty close, about 430 units each, but some of his units are really far away compared to mine, and I think this is where the Vampire faction shines, because when you lose the morale, your units start to decrease in their health slowly instead of just running away. You can see my guys are almost, they're crumbling already, yet because of the healing that I get from the corpse card, they are lasting just a little bit longer for the battle of attrition to be in my favor. His Royal Pegasus Knight as well as his Grill Guardians are slowly withering down in health, and I'm sending my Crypt Horrors to try and take out the Fae Enchantress. You can see them protecting their corpse card. This Fae Enchantress is surrounded by 4 Crypt Horrors, getting smashed to bits. She's pretty tanky though, with a pretty high melee attack with her spells. He also has a unit of Grill Relic over here. If you guys can see, it's just right here. This guy is carrying a dead knight on them to give them I think the Unbreakable Aura, if I remember correctly, or no, it increases their morale pretty high. Where's the Aura? Immune to Psychology and plus 16 Leadership, which is why these guys are holding out longer than they should be. especially the spearmen, which have just broke. You can see even with 5 units, 4 units remaining, these Royal Pegasus Knights and Grille Guardians, despite their low number, are still not breaking. And this fight is gonna be really close in terms of the numbers. You can see we're both at 250 units each. And my corpse card is still providing a valuable healing aura to my men for the longest of time that I can remember. And it's turning out to be a really close fight. So as I mentioned before, if I didn't have set off the Winds of Death as I did, things would have been really different. I can see my men and their men are both crumbling. And thank God for the Crypt Horrors, because they lasted really long in the fight, as well as what I said, the corpse card giving valuable healing. You can see this unit of Crypt Horrors run out of a healing, ran out of the healing threshold. It just shows how much the units have healed. Corpse card as well. You can see the bar is almost at the middle. So at this point in time, my opponent quit the game. It was a really close game and a really good fight to him, using the flanking cavalry force. You can see the number of kills that they got. Most of them are over 100 kills. And if they managed to get my corpse card at the start of the game, I think things would have turned out more to his favor. So really interesting battle of how the healing mechanics can work in your favor, especially as the vampires, because the healing stacks on top of the unit's own healing, such as the Crypt Horror and the Sternsman. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and I'll see you guys next time.